James Tremain here. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to retrain your subconscious mind to achieve anything you want in life. Principles that you're going to learn today are going to help you to create more health, wealth, happiness, peace of mind, and most importantly, freedom in your life, okay? Because that's really what we're all after, right? The freedom to do what we want to do when we want to do it, okay? Now, that can be financial freedom, that can be peace of mind, that can be a new relationship, literally anything you want. If you apply the principles that you're going to learn today consistently, right, your life is going to dramatically improve, okay? So let's get straight into it, guys, okay? Now, we've spoken about the formula before, but if you hear me repeat things, that is because repetition is the only way your brain learns, okay? Remember when you were back in school, the teacher said sit on the desk, okay, and read and repeat, all right? That's the whole process of learning at school, all right? Remember, and then go to the exam and repeat, okay? So the way that the mind works is through repetition, okay? Repeating things. So there's a formula to how you are creating your reality and how you are creating your results in life. So beliefs is the top part, all right? Your belief systems, what you believe as true, is controlling your thoughts. And the way that you think controls the way that you feel. The way that you feel controls your actions, and your actions control your results. Now, part of our belief systems is our self-image. Okay, now there's a really powerful book that I recommend each and every one of you to read, which is Psycho-Cybernetics by Dr. Maxwell Maltz. He speaks about the self-image in the book. Okay, the self-image is the sort of, or the type of person you are. Okay, this is summed up with your past experiences, your successes, your failures, okay, your belief systems, and all of this has been programmed from birth up until the present moment, okay? So from friends, family, school, religion, society, and predominantly between the ages of 0 to 7, okay? Now, all of our friends, our family were putting these belief systems into us, yeah, and we had to accept them as true. Now, those belief systems, whatever we believe, if I believe that I'm good enough, if I believe that I can't do this, whatever you believe and accept as true, you will act in accordance with how you feel, okay? You'll never outwork or you'll never outperform your self-image. You will always act in accordance to how you view yourself, okay? So we have an image, you and I have an image in our mind of ourself, okay? How we view ourselves, okay? Either we view ourselves as a fat person, we view ourselves as a healthy person, we view ourselves as strong, as confident, etc., right? So this the type of person I am then leads on to our thoughts, okay? If I have a belief system that I'm just the type of person that's fat, then I'm just gonna start thinking about, all of these things, like when I start to lose weight, you can't do that. This runs in my family that I'm overweight, etc. Okay, so it's the story we tell ourselves. Okay, we spoke about it in the last video, but your thoughts, the words that you're saying in your own mind, you have this mental roommate. Okay, and if you're speaking words that are telling yourself, this thing happened to me, I'm such a victim, all these sort of things, then that's exactly what we are creating in our own reality. All right. And these are creating patterns, paradigms, habitual patterns in our subconscious mind that are controlling our results in life, all right? So this is why maybe you started to get some results, you started to lose weight, all right? You went to the gym for 4 weeks, and then all of a sudden that thing happened, something happened, it triggered something in your subconscious mind. Those belief systems, the old belief systems, those old paradigms, they kicked back in, and then you fall straight back, you snap back like a rubber band back to your old subconscious patterns, okay? And that's exactly what we are gonna cover and retrain in today so that you can achieve whatever you want, okay? Because if we can change our belief systems, the way that we believe, our self-image, how we view ourselves, that will then automatically ripple down. We'll change our thoughts, we'll change our feelings, and we'll change our actions, okay? It's very much like the top of a river, okay? Imagine the top of a river. It's blocked with all garbage, dirt, mud, all that sort of stuff. Now, at the bottom of the river, when you're standing there, you can imagine that that water is not going to come down very crystal clear, is it? It's just going to be full of mud and garbage and all this sort of stuff, right? But once we start to clear the belief systems, once we start to change the self-image at the root, the subconscious level, then over time, okay, it will take a little bit of time, but that water will then start to ripple down and then eventually it'll become crystal clear, and it will match how we are thinking and feeling and believing and viewing ourselves, okay? So we are literally getting to the root cause of the problem. And this is where most people go wrong. They'll do their 75 hard, they'll do a bit of therapy, maybe they'll do some biohacking or whatever it may be, right? And they get some results, and then all of a sudden, boom, snap right back. It's because they never got to the root cause of the belief system, how you function, all right? So you're not just a physical body, all right? You are way more than just your skin and bones, okay? This is a belief system that society has implanted into you to keep you small, okay? Because if you believe that you're just skin and bones and you're gonna die, and then after you die, that's it, all right? Of course, you're gonna be narcissist, you're gonna not care about other people, all right? Why would I care about the earth if I'm not going to be here, okay? And this is a belief system that I held, all right? When I was in my worst possible moments, I mean, driving around. Of course, chuck rubbish out of the car. Who cares, right? I'm not going to be here to even worry about it in the future, okay? But that is the wrong way to think about, in my opinion, all right? Now, let's have an idea of how you actually function, okay? So as I said, you're way more than just your physical body. You are a soul who's having a human experience, okay? You were born and you're gonna die, okay? These are two facts that we cannot get away from, all right? Now, the question I ask you is, where were you before you were born, okay? And then where are you going after, okay? Now, this has been one of the biggest questions throughout history, okay? This is where all of the ancient civilizations, all of the great thinkers have tried to understand the situation of life. Okay, we're all here, we're all born here without our choice, okay, or we say without our choice, ultimately was our choice, but we were all born, and now we're here living this human experience for however many years, okay, and then all of a sudden we're going to die. Now this is why all of the ancient civilizations, like the Egyptians, the Egyptian Book of the Dead, the Tibetan Book of Death and Die, and all of these different people, all of these different civilizations throughout history, thousands of years ago, 5,000 different parts of the world as well, all came to the same conclusion, that we are more than just our physical body. We are a soul, a spiritual being having a human experience, and we are working on at least 4 different levels, okay? You have your physical body, okay, which we can feel. Now, you also have your mental body, your mind, that's how you think, okay? You have your emotional state, you have your spiritual side, okay? Now, you can imagine your body as like one of those Russian nesting dolls, yeah? And the center doll is like your physical body. And then each doll outside of that, the bigger dolls, they are different parts of your being. Your mental body, your emotional body, your spiritual body, okay? And this creates an aura, yeah? You're an electromagnetic field around your body, all right? Now, this isn't woo-woo spiritual bullshit. This has all been documented. If you have a look at things like Kirlian photography, okay? They take a photo of a leaf or a hand or any biological material, and it will create an electromagnetic field around it, okay? If you have a look into things like Heart Math Institute, okay? The heart quite literally creates an electromagnetic field around you, okay? And when we look into quantum physics as well, it gets even more weirder, that everything down to its smallest atom, which we are made of, is energy, frequency, and vibration, okay? But to get back to the point, if we are operating on more than just one level, then we need to understand each of those levels to be able to utilize it and start to change our reality, okay? So let's have a look at your mind, all right? You have a mind, yeah? And it's what you think with, yeah? You have an internal roommate who's always talking to you, narrating things in your outside world, okay? And most of the time, it's negative, okay? 95% of people, it has been programmed to be negative. I can't do this, I'm not good enough, all right? Money doesn't grow on trees, I can't even try this, all right? All these negative belief systems, and it's coming up in this internal roommate, in this voice inside your head, okay? So you might just be going around driving your car, and then all of a sudden, you start thinking about your past, right? I can't believe this dude who did this to me 7 years ago, all right? And that's quite literally creating chemicals within your body that make you angry, all right? And as we said, the way we think, the way we feel creates our actions, and the way we act is easily going to control our results, all right? We can't get past that. If I'm angry and I go to my next sales meeting, right, well, of course I'm going to turn up angry, and that other person's going to feel it, all right? And they're not going to buy from me because they can feel my anger. You've all seen it, right? Gone into a room and someone's super angry, you can feel that energy, yeah? This isn't woo-woo, you can feel it. That is because we're operating on these different levels, all right? So if we go to our mind, we have a mind and a body, okay? We have our conscious mind and our subconscious mind, which is then connected to our body. Okay, now the conscious mind is like, well, the mind is like an iceberg, as Carl Jung said, okay? You've got the 90% that's outside, that's underwater, and you've got the 10% which is outside the water, okay? Now the conscious mind is analytical, okay? I've explained this in previous videos and I'll link them as well, but the conscious mind deals with objective reality, okay? Objects, okay? You can think, you can have willpower, you can analyze, and you can choose. That's pretty much all it does, okay? Whereas the subconscious mind deals with everything else, the subjective reality, okay? It deals with feelings, it deals with emotions, it deals with habit patterns, belief systems, your self-image, yeah? It also deals with your patterns, your paradigms. It helps to heal your body when you're ill, okay? If you have a cut on your body, you don't even have to consciously think about it, it will just heal. Okay? That is because your subconscious mind is connected to an infinite intelligence, a universal mind, God, spirit, superconscious, quantum field, okay? And when you have a look at quantum physics, we will notice that everything, down to its smallest atom, is connected by this quantum field, this universal field, infinite intelligence, okay? And it all depends on consciousness, the observer, all right, which you are. So you have your conscious mind, you have your subconscious mind, and that's connected to your body. Okay? Now the subconscious, as we said, is all to do with your feelings. So if I consciously think about a fearful and worrying thought, then that gets accepted by my subconscious mind, and my subconscious mind will then go about and create the circumstances, people, places and things to match how I'm feeling. Okay? You can try it yourself. If you sit there and imagine your boss, the argument you got to have with your missus, okay? Just sitting on the sofa, you're chill, nothing bad's happening. You can start visualizing that, and all of a sudden you're creating adrenaline, cortisol flooding through your body, okay, and you're ready for a fight. That's because your subconscious will create the chemicals within your body, and the way that we feel controls how we act, and our actions control our results. So, your mind and your body, you have your 5 physical senses, okay? These are the red little lines at the top. 5 physical senses. This is what plugs you into this reality. Okay, you can imagine life like a game, okay, like a computer game. You were a soul outside of this body, and you decided to come into this body. Okay, so you had, like GTA, you had a controller, and you have your player. Okay, you came in here, and the whole idea is to level up. Okay, level up your character, make yourself fitter, stronger, mentally capable. Okay. Make money. All of these different things is the whole experience of life, okay? Now, what plugs us into our 5 physical senses is our nervous system, okay? Our nervous system, when you strip away your body, when you strip away your skin and your bones, what we're left with is a nervous system, which is your brain and nerves, basically, all right? And that's exactly what plugs you in. If you literally take away all of the skin, you will just see this. I'm pretty sure you can see it in one of those London museums, okay? Just your nervous system. Now, that is what is controlling your reality, okay? And our breath, oxygen, which attached to every single molecule is prana, life force energy, what the ancient Indian yogis called it, okay? Life force energy, otherwise known God's universal field, whatever you want to call it. This is what permeates everything, okay? And in every single breath, we take in that life force energy. And the consciousness, consciousness, you are the one who is controlling this mind and this body, okay? Your ability to think, yeah? René Descartes said it, I think, therefore I am. Well, actually, it's the other way round. I am, therefore I think, okay? I am, therefore I have the ability to think rationally, and that is what is controlling our reality, okay? The fact that we have the ability to consciously think, okay? We are consciousness. We are not our thoughts. We are not our feelings. We are not our body. We are a drop of consciousness, spirit, God, universe, quantum field, whatever you want to call it, who's experiencing itself through a human form, which is you, through your own perspective. I'm having my own perspective. You're having your own perspective. Everyone else is having their own perspective. But we are all the same ultimately, okay? So that leads us on to your automatic success mechanism. This is the massive part, okay, your automatic success mechanism. So there is a part of you which is designed to help you achieve anything you want in life, okay? And it's in nature, it's in human beings as well, okay? You can see this in nature quite clearly with animals, right? Think of a squirrel, yeah? Squirrel who is born in the summer doesn't need to take a course about foraging for acorns, right? And burying the acorns ready for winter, right? A lion doesn't need to take a online program about hunting, does it? Birds, for example, they don't need to think about migrating south in the winter to warmer areas, right? That's because there is a success mechanism. Our Creator, God, gave us a mechanism to achieve any goal we want in life, okay? But it all works on having a goal, okay? And you might think, oh, well, that's nature. I'm not an animal. Well, first of all, you are, but you're also way more than that. So God, spirit, universe, whatever you want to call it, has given you and I this mechanism as well. But our goals are way more than just survival, okay? We don't need to just procreate and eat. I mean, they are a couple of our goals, but we have mental, emotional, and spiritual goals, okay? We came here to, as Adrian Maslow said, to self-actualize, become our true self, okay? Give to the world what our gifts are, okay? So that's the whole point of this, is to help us achieve anything we want in life, okay? But most people don't know how to use this success mechanism. So I'm going to teach you how to use it today. Okay, so it works in 5 steps. And the first one is aim, all right? Have a goal. Now, just like a guided missile, okay, this automatic success mechanism only works when we have a goal in mind, okay? If you don't have a goal, then how are we going to achieve anything, right? If there's a wind outside, imagine that there's a ship on the sea, right? A man without a goal is like a ship without a captain, okay? You're just at the whim of all of the waves, yeah? And it doesn't matter what happens, you're just going along left to right, left to right. And of course, you're going to fall back into your old patterns, drink, drugs, alcohol, junk food, all that sort of stuff, right? So the first thing is to have a goal, okay? And just like a guided missile, it doesn't go in a straight line, right? Imagine that there's a guided missile that's after a plane, all right? And that's quite apt because of all the crazy, wild shit that's going on in the world, in the Middle East. But imagine that you got a plane and you got your guided missile, right? Well, the guided missile doesn't just go straight to the missile, does it? It works by sensors, okay? Our 5 physical senses, yeah? And it makes adjustments. It realizes it's going in one direction and it's making a mistake, and it twists. And then it realizes it's making a mistake again, twist, 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 until eventually it collides with its target and goal, okay? But first of all, it has to have that target in mind, the plane, all right? The same with you. You have to have a goal in mind, all right? What is it you actually want from life? And that's why I teach my guys the vision blueprint, all right? So if you do want to get clear on what your goals for the future are and how to achieve those and reverse engineer it, then I'll leave a description and a link in the description, all right? So that you can try out the vision blueprint and get clear on what your goals are, right? Once you have the vision blueprint, once you've got your goal in mind, you then have to understand and trust that you have this mechanism, okay? That your subconscious infinite intelligence is always guiding you towards your goal, okay? There is a part of you that works through imagination, through intuition, through guidance that will help you achieve anything you want in life, all right? But you have to trust that it's there. Next is relax, okay? If you don't relax, we stop and push away this connection to infinite intelligence subconscious, all right? Now, this infinite intelligence, this has been told by all of the great inventors. Thomas Edison, for example, Einstein, all of these great inventors said that they didn't get their ideas consciously, that they got their ideas when they were in a state of trance, when their brain waves slowed down from high beta, stressed out, conscious, analytical, thinking mind, and it slowed down into alpha, into theta, meditative states, okay? And when they were allowed to slow down, their subconscious mind, which is connected to the universal infinite intelligence, was able to download ideas into them, okay? Because the quantum field, universal field, God, spirit, whatever you want to call it, has all of the information that's ever been, all right? And if you have a look at quantum physics, the quantum field, everything is connected all at once in this very moment, okay? So that means that we have to slow everything down and get into our subconscious mind, okay? Because the subconscious mind has got everything that we need, okay? Remember, as we said at the beginning, whatever we plant in our subconscious mind, it will create the circumstances, people, places, things. It will give us flashes of insights. It will give us knowledge. It will give us gut feelings, instincts to just go and take these actions, all right? Like the bird who's flying south, he's just got this instinct. He's just got this knowing that he has to fly south, okay? And exactly the same thing for you and your goal. You will have your goal, and once you can slow everything down, right? Once you can trust that you've got this success mechanism, e.g. your subconscious mind, God, spirit, whatever you want to call it, once you can slow down and trust that you have this mechanism that is guiding you to your goals, and you can slow everything down, getting into your subconscious mind, getting out of that analytical thinking, worrying, doubting, fearful mind, and fully trusting that it's there, then you'll just start doing your actions, right? You'll start going about your life and you'll get an instinct. Okay, I should take this action. I should email this person. I should go for a coffee, right? And all of a sudden, you meet the exact person you need at that right time who's going to help to move your business forward, okay? But we have to trust that it works, and we have to trust that it's there, okay? We know that it's there in nature, remember? It works in animals, it works in lions, yeah? But why wouldn't it work in you, all right? If we have a creator, which we have, all right, why wouldn't it help you out on this, okay? And the only reason you think it wouldn't is because of your belief systems, your old programs, your old patterns, your old paradigms that were programmed into you from birth up until the present moment. Now, if you have any pre-existing ideas about the word God, a lot of people have these feelings, right? Forget about the word God. Use subconscious mind, infinite intelligence, whatever you want to call it, okay? But what we have to do is separate God from religion, all right? God is everything that the world is created, okay? And quantum physics pretty much now confirms that there is a observer. Consciousness, okay? God is consciousness, okay? God is your own conscious awareness of being, okay? So, relax, all right? You have to learn to relax, okay? Slow everything down. Breathe deeply. That's exactly why I teach you the fundamentals of breath work, all right? Also, I'll link that training in the link below, okay? Because when we breathe deeply with the 3 parts of the breath through our nose, we signal to our nervous system, specifically our parasympathetic nervous system, to switch on, okay? When we switch our parasympathetic nervous system on, everything starts to slow down, okay? The mind goes from high beta, stressed out, anxious, fearful, worried, focused on one problem, okay? You've all been there, right? Focused on one problem. I don't know how I'm going to get out of this, right? And then you've gone for a walk, or you've gone for a shower, or you've gone for a long drive. And all of a sudden, boom, flashes of insight, okay? That's exactly what I should do. That's because your brain slowed down from high beta into alpha into theta. We went from conscious, analytical thinking, worrying, into the subconscious, which is where our automatic success mechanism is, our connection to consciousness, universal field, whatever you want to call it, and the ideas downloaded into you, okay? Just like Thomas Edison, just like Einstein said with his cat naps, all right? If he ever had an idea, he would then go to sleep, all right? And all of a sudden, it would be there and downloaded into him, okay? But most of us, we are so distracted, so on our phone, drink, drugs, alcohol, junk food, all of these things focused on the outside world instead of looking inwards and slowing down to our subconscious. So relax, breathe, okay? Walk around, breathe deeply, okay? Focus on the here and the now, okay? The only time that we have is this very moment right here and right now. And if we're stressed, if we're anxious, if we're worried, if we're fearful of the future, we're worried about the past, all right, then we are blocking that connection to our subconscious mind, to that automatic success mechanism. So we push harder, we work hard, and we don't seem to get the results because we're not in flow. We're not in the present moment. We're not connected to infinite intelligence, right? If you look at a lion, for example, a lion isn't overthinking, right? A lion isn't thinking, should I hunt this? Should I not hunt this? Should I go there? Should I not go there, right? The bird isn't thinking, should I fly south? Should I not fly south? Am I even good enough to fly south? Like, I don't know. Will there even be things there? Right? It just doesn't have that conscious worry and analytical thinking mind, yeah? Now that is our blessing and our curse, because we can choose our goal and we can choose and have willpower to choose the visualizations of what we want to create, yeah? But it works in two ways. If we're thinking about the worst case scenario, your subconscious mind goes, got it, brother. I'm going to create all of those situations for you. Lack, worry, illness, disease, all that sort of stuff, right? But on the flip side, if we plant it with things that we want, everything's going to be perfect, right? Every day I'm getting better and better. I'm healthy. I'm abundant and wealthy. Then the subconscious, once accepted, it'll be like, yep, got ya. And it will start to help you, all right? The subconscious, infinite intelligence, will give you ideas, intuitions, insights, symbols, signs through dreams, through conversations, synchronicities, okay? These will all start to occur as we start to tune in with that infinite intelligence, all right? But what happens is drugs, alcohol, junk food, all these bullshit vices, all right? This is what is keeping us far away from that connection to our subconscious, to infinite intelligence, to our success mechanism, right? Absolutely no way you're going to be able to connect and feel that intuition and that gut feeling when you're sniffing lines, smoking, right, eating shit, okay? It just doles it out, okay? And that is exactly why we've been fed all this shit, okay? Because it's taken us further and further away from that internal source of power. The next, number 4, is learn, okay? We have to learn from our mistakes, okay? I think it was Einstein who said it, maybe correct me in the comments, but doing the same thing over and over again is the definition of insanity, okay? So we have to learn from our mistakes. The same way that the missile gets to its destination is through a series of errors and course correcting, okay? It goes one way, realizes it's going in the wrong way, twists, changes direction, realizes, changes direction until eventually it connects, okay? And the same applies for our life. We can't get hung up and hung over on all of our failures and our past failures and then let that seep into a belief system like, I'm not good enough, I can't do this, right? I've failed before, so I'm going to fail again. No. Remove those old belief systems, okay? Remove any worry and fear of doubt, okay? You are not a failure. Maybe you have failed at something, but that does not mean you are a failure, okay? We have to forget, completely ignore that feeling of failure, okay? Obviously understand and take action to change and learn, right? But focus only on our successes, okay? Success breeds success, okay? The way we feel will create more thoughts, the way we think will create more actions, and then we'll create different results, okay? So focus only on the wins, only on the positives, okay? It may sound crazy to just completely ignore, like our negative thinking and our worries and our doubts, all right? That's not to say don't take action, but it's completely ignore it, okay? If you have a look at people like Mike Tyson, Conor McGregor, they said that failure did not even enter their consciousness, okay? Exactly the same process here, okay? Failure, worry, doubt shouldn't even enter into your consciousness. And if you want the formula on how to overcome that, the 5-step formula, I will also link that video on how to overcome limiting beliefs, overthinking, worry, doubt, urges with the 5-step formula, okay? So that'll be in the description as well. And the last part of this formula is take action, okay? Everything else means fuck all unless you actually take action, okay? And this is for life in general, okay? You can't just sit on a beach meditating and not take any action. It's just not going to change. Your life's not going to change, okay? We work in a universe where we have to take action, okay? Forces, like attracts like, okay? Equal and opposite forces, Newton's thermodynamics of the law of motion or whatever. And an action in one direction and equal action in the other, okay? The pendulum swing to the right is a pendulum swing to the left. Whatever we put in, we will get out, okay? So we have to take action, all right? And by doing all these things, okay, understanding that we are consciousness, we are soul, we have a mind, we have a body, we have a nervous system, and we implement all of these things, we will be guided and be able to achieve anything we want in life, right? Providing you have the goal in mind, okay? You trust, you understand that you've got this mechanism inside of you that's going to drive you and it's going to give you ideas, it's going to give you intuition, insight, symbols, signs that is going to take you to your goal. you relax, massive part, relax, okay? Slow it all down, yeah? Relax, learn from your mistakes and take action, okay? And don't even worry about how it's gonna work out, but just know that it will, right? Have absolute faith and confidence that it will and take action, all right? You will achieve whatever it is you want in life, okay? So that sums up today's training for you guys, all right? If you found that helpful, drop a comment in the comment section below. Let me know how you went on with that. If you guys want to go deeper into this, yeah, I've created, first of all, my school community, Retrain with Tremain HQ. Okay, this is for high-performing men, so business owners, entrepreneurs, professionals who want to eliminate self-sabotage and take full control of their internal world so that they can create more time, energy, peace of mind, happiness, and freedom in their life. If you want to come join that, it's completely free. There's loads of extra courses and programs that you can go through. It's accountability, high standards, network, all of that good stuff. So I'll leave the link in the description. Come join it. Would love to have you guys there. And if you do want to work together and go deeper into all of this, we have the internal control system, okay? It's a system, 8-week program that's gonna help you take total control of the internal world. How you think, how you feel, how you act, how you look, okay, and completely change your reality, okay, so that you can stay calm, so that you can stay composed, consistent, without falling back into those old self-sabotaging behaviors. So I'll leave a link in the description below to check that out, and please share this with any other men who you feel would benefit from this. Drop me a like, drop me a share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, all right? Let me know how you went with that in the comments below. And if there's any other things that you want me to cover, write that in the comments as well. And I'll see you guys in the next video.